Normally I'll be playing some video games. You know, nice backdrop to deal with all of that. But right now I'm not in the best place necessarily. I'm not gonna sit up here and bring that to everybody. You know, I'm trying to convert that into something positive. And now I'm just making sure all of my stuff's on and up in order so that I could talk to y'all. You've seen a couple of my videos, you've probably seen a couple of my lives, so you know why everything is not what they call up to par. But that's not what this is about. This is just about trying to flip it, you know, talk about some positive stuff. I had some ideas for shorts that I wanted to do, but I went ahead and I didn't do them. And you're not going to get any razzle-dazzle out of this. You're not going to get anything that you would consider what you like, what you desire. That's not what I'm doing. Like I continuously tell people, this is a therapy session. These are the ways that I handle anxieties and my depressions. But I don't like to bring those to folks. So this time around, I'm just talking, telling you exactly what needs to be said from my perspective. But I don't sit up here and I don't criticize and I don't really give opinions. I mean, if I do, I try to be as neutral as possible about all of them, because it doesn't seem right for me to try to tell you what you should think and how you should feel about anything. Because you got your own mind, you got your own way of seeing stuff. A lot of the times I come on here to see who agrees with me on a lot of things and who doesn't. And I'm glad for a fact that people don't agree with me on everything, because if a person agrees with everything I say, they better go or I'm going to run, because that energy is not palatable. Probably not catching everything that I'm saying, but that's all right, because that's not what this is for. I did this because this day's hard, this day's bad, but I can't let that, you know, groom into everything else going on. I can't let that go into everything else that's going down. Because for the most part, I've had a lot of happy things happen. There's more people subscribe. There's people that actually like what I'm talking about. They keep saying they enjoy my content, but for the life of me, I have no idea what my content is. I'm just a dude who talks about whatever it is on his brain. Doesn't really care about whether they enjoy it or not. But the people that do, that's momentous and that means a lot. So I always make sure to give them their props. And I'm always checking out other people's accounts. That's why I make the point to plug them every chance that I get. Make sure that you guys are checking out other people. Because there's people out there that are doing it. They're doing better stuff than I am. I'm just really talking and playing video games. Forget I'm sweating. It's very humid out here. Not like where I'm used to being from, but at the same time, it helps me out. But yeah, it's been a trip so far. You know, it's because of this particular day that 2 months later I started making these videos. This day was harsh, and I don't want to repeat what was done because I don't think it's necessary. Because most of you that know me already know what I'm talking about. And I just cope differently. Like, I've always had this ability to cope with all kinds of tragedies. But just because I have that ability doesn't mean that it's easy to do. It still always messes with my head no matter what happens, because I'm always stuck in this cycle. But I'm not trying to be better, do more, say any of this. I'm not here for speeches. I'm not here to give motivation. But if you get that out of this, then kudos, and I applaud. And also, hopefully, what I really aim for is that whatever you're going through, this gives you at least a second away from it. You know, a chance to decompress. And I can talk wild and crazy. I can get there because half the time I am out of my mind, but I don't know, I try to respect the viewers in some sense. But the cool part about doing this is that I know that not too many people are going to watch this, so I'm okay. But I also still take the responsibility seriously. I'm not gonna sit here and just keep talking mess and garbage and be all mean. Now, earlier today, I was gonna do a video. Well, not do a video, but I was gonna make a short asking, which was the cooler medieval show, Crab Mandoon or Gallivant? But my own self-consciousness kicked that out. I don't understand why. I'm not really here to impress. I'm not here to depress. I'm not here to compress. I'm not here to obsess. I'm just here to be myself. And which way it goes, east or west, it's just gonna be how it is. That's how I got to invest. And normally I play a video game for a nice backdrop, so it gives me a chance to step out of my own head. That's why I do these, is step out of my mind. And trust me, there could be a lot more. It'd be completely pointless because I don't care. That's how I function, and that's how I cope with all of it. But on the same token, I figure I got to give something to the people, right? Sorry, I'm just checking, seeing if I got any messages. Because I always make it a point to pay attention to the people that comment and whatnot. I'm sorry that the reception is not great. I mean, I got good Wi-Fi, but, you know, I don't have that 1080p. But either which way, never cared about hundreds or thousands of people coming. Never cared about viral. All I care about is that maybe whoever's going through something, it ain't so harsh because they know that they're not alone. Because I've been that way for so long, I don't really know any other way to be. But either which way, I hope that y'all are out there getting yours, and I hope that you're all out there living and being happy at what you're doing. I would do these longer, but really the capacity I have for is like sitcom time, which means that you're probably only gonna get, you know, if you're lucky, 20 minutes, 30 if we're talking commercials, but I don't have any commercials. I'm not entertaining. I'm not hiring any clowns. It's not happening. So just deal with that. But even though I'm kind of messed up right now and depressed, you know, because of dealing with the 1-year anniversary of my tragedy, I didn't want to bring that out to anybody. I wanted to see what was going on with everyone else. And anybody's watching and listening, I hope it helps in at least the sense that you're going, what the heck is wrong with that guy? That guy needs some help. Either which way. Maybe next time I'll hire a clown, get some balloons, we can do a whole doot 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 doot. But a lot of people have claustrophobia, you know, fear clowns, yada yada yada. And I'm more reactive than I am, you know, active, because I don't really compete the action. I just give the reaction to a lot of stuff. But I don't make reaction videos because honestly, I'm pretty deadpan no matter what. I just always look like this. Yeah, but goodness gracious, is it humid outside. But I'm always outside. It's kind of weird when I get likes on videos because I don't know where they be coming from. Because they never say that this person liked your video. They'll be like, you got a like on there. And that's always at the same time. I'm like, where is it coming from? But yeah, the question I was going to ask was, which show was funnier, Crab Mandoon or Gallivant? I mean, Crab Mandoon was great. Gallivant was great. They're both medieval. One's a musical. Both had complete hilarity ensue. But man, I made so many of these videos. I mean, I made a complete lot of them just talking about my whimsy. And I'm happy about that. Because I honestly never thought I'd get this far. Sorry, like I said, I'm checking messages because people always send me stuff. Not on here, but on my other videos. So I always make sure to check all those out. And also managed to throw up the fact that all are welcome here. There's a lot of great people I've interacted with on here, though. The homie, the K-pop cowboy, and then there's Don McCoy. Yeah, I like Don McCoy. He's real cool. He was like number 100. He made sure that my subs went up. And I really wasn't expecting it. I was just happy that I had 100 people that was willing to listen to what I had to say. So nowadays I had a lot more people. There's like my homie Bella. You know, she had my back when I was barely starting out on this, defending me from detractors. And then later on, I came to meet this cool animator named Funtime Kitten. She does a lot of gacha. Now, gacha, I always was confused with chibi, and it's kind of funny that they're essentially the same, but they're not, and I'm not about to get a foot in the neck for that one, so please do not come after me about that. But I got no idea what I'm doing. I don't know, maybe next time I'll jazz it up a bit. I was thinking about, you know, doing these from the PlayStation Playroom. It would just be me sitting in whatever environment I'm in because I hook up the PS4 wherever I go, you know, so I can get my game on and broadcast, because that's honestly the time where I'm the most happy. Playing my video games and chatting it up. And they say I should get a better microphone or whatever, but at the same time, I don't really want to because I'm not a YouTuber. I mean, I'm a guy that makes video on YouTube, but I don't really think of this as content because I don't really have a theme. I don't have a niche. So it's like I just come in here and do whatever it is that's clearing out on my mind. And I'm always all over the place. And yeah, I'm glistening right now. Like I said, it is humid out here. And I retain heat like you wouldn't believe. Probably because of where I'm from, where I grew up at. But you guys are real cool. I mean, even the ones that come with the negative, they're cool too. Because hey, if they got a gripe to have, it's cool to have a gripe. You can't have everybody liking everything that you do. You can't have everyone loving everything that you say, because that essentially will not make any sense. Besides, it's through disagreements that we grow and that we learn from each other. Which is why I don't discount anyone's opinion. I don't knock it. Even when people tell me I'm trash or I'm stupid or whatever, I'm like, hey, thank you for the insight. And I try my best not to be sarcastic about it, because that's not what I'm going for. Because everybody's got their thing. Everybody's got their gripe. I don't really sit up here and talk mess about nothing. I mean, even if I have a disdain for something, the only reason why you don't see me bring it up is because why would I talk about what I hate? Why would I spend my time on that? That's just goofy. Besides, if it's gone, then what will I have to hate? Then I'm essentially on my own, and that sucks. I always wonder what would happen to the Joker if Batman just decided to quit. Just like, you know what, that's it, I'm done. No matter what he did. Would the Joker essentially quit? Most likely. And Batman needs the Joker. I'm not Batman in any way, shape, form, or capacity. I'm just making the point that, you know, you need the dissension. And you like being the villain. You like being the person that dissents. And if you ain't got nothing to dissent on, then you'll probably hate on yourself. And then if you're hating on yourself, that'll be a small meal. So you need someone out there to hate. You need your villains. But that's not what this is about. Like I said, I'm just depressed, and I'm just, you know, talking, getting stuff out of my head. Nobody's really saying anything, so I don't really got reason to say anything. Talk about my games or my movies, but I'm going to do that in every short that I hit you up with. And like I said, whenever there's nothing really going on, I do this in a sitcom level, which basically means you'll probably get me for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I mean, I'll do longer if they want, but most of the time I don't, because I don't really see a high demand for that. When I play my video games, I do a couple of hours. I'd like to do longer, but I try to be considerate of the people I'm around, because I am a nomad. I'm always traveling. Especially nowadays. Because as small as the world is, it's still a huge world and there's still a lot to see. That's one of the reasons why I like being on YouTube, though. I like coming on here and doing my live streams and doing my game broadcast, because then I can see, people that aren't around me. I can see people outside of my neck of the woods. I can see people from everywhere, every walks of life. Because that's how we get past all the bull. That's how we get to understand each other. Because one thing I learned from growing up in the hood is that there's a hood everywhere, and every hood's about the same. Just got to know how to function in it. And whatever's acceptable to you ain't acceptable to everybody. That's just the way it's going to be. So you can't be appalled at what a person does when they're appalled at what you do, because at the end of the day, just understand it. Because everyone's valid. No opinion doesn't matter. Everyone's opinion matters. But getting to the understanding is the hard part, and some of us just don't have the intestinal fortitude to do that. Plus, it's exhausting. I mean, I ain't gonna front. I'm a lazy person, which is why I suck at responding to haters. I mean, when people hate on me, I'm like, oh, you're right. And then I guess they do their happy dance and they take off and they're all gone, and that's good, and everybody's hunky-dory, Peter King. But that's not where I run at. But at the same time, you gotta admit, people that spend their time hating and flattering, because I'm like, wow. You know how many times there are people that thought that they weren't important, that they were going to give it up, that they were going to stop what they were doing, but because somebody took the time to waste all that venom on them, they had to keep going. Certain things I just don't do on the camera. It ain't going to happen. Just like, I don't really slang profanity. Occasionally I do, but even though I put that these are not for kids, I'm not delusional. I'm aware that some kids are going to probably see this, so I'm not going to be the one to keep that going. I'm not going to set that off. But woo, is it hot outside. Sorry. Yeah, I still type on here, but like I said, most of the time I'm reactive. There's people coming in and checking it out. That's pretty sweet. I think it's also kind of crazy because I'm not here to really say nothing that you want to know about. I think it's kind of weird that I'm sitting here talking without any real theme, but like I said, the only theme is depression. I'm, kind of dealing with my 1-year anniversary of my tragedy. And that's the last time I'm going to say that. I can't keep dwelling on that. Because I'm not the only one that has tragedy. I'm not the only one that deals with tragedy. I'm not the only person that's hurting out there. There's a lot of people out there hurting. And you can't think about all that. You can't. I mean, there's other people. I can't focus on myself. I want to at least try to help other folks cope with theirs. But I'm not a therapist. I'm not a psychiatrist. So if you want to just immerse yourself in some nonsense, welcome to the show. But as far as I know, I think I've only got like 10 minutes left. Unless somebody speaks to me. I'm getting likes though. That's insanity to me. I'm like, what is it like? I'm a nutcase. I'm gonna make it on personality. I don't do what necessarily needs to be done. I've set the hire a clown line times. And plus I'm probably coming off all choppy. I'm trying. But it's hard to get a good spot to do this on. But either which way. If anything to take away from here, you matter. All of you matter. Every one of you matter. You never didn't matter. When I say I don't care about my subs and all that, I care about the subs, but I'm not looking for them. But if they're willing to hang, then I'm always willing to hang. That's how I used to make friends. I wasn't trying to get anybody's friendship. I wasn't trying to fit in. Because if you got to try to fit in, then you don't fit in. because then you got to adjust yourself and all that. And if you got to adjust the positive qualities of yourself to fit in with a bunch of negative people, then what's the point? That's like $1 million chump who loses $1 million. He's just a chump then. And don't quote me on that. That's actually from a movie I saw, and the wording was differently, so I paraphrased. It's kind of weird though, getting people throwing likes on this video, and I haven't really said nothing worth liking. I just, they're all coming to support, I guess. So for that, thank you. Like I said, I'm burning up. I wish I could sit up here and say it's one of them controversial spiels where I sit there and diss somebody or diss the dead or all that stuff, but I don't do that. Because in all actuality, I'm not knocking what anybody does, but I do think it's kind of strange that when you're messing with somebody that's already out of here, they're gone, they're not here no more. And I thought the point of it was to get rid of the memory. When you keep talking about them, you're just kind of keeping it going. Nonsensical. I'm just saying, it's nonsensical. But there are people that have been on here that have talked with me about whatever, and like I said, that's one of the reasons why I'm glad I don't have a whole lot of subscribers. Because when the people that come in, they get to speak to me. When they comment, I get to pay attention. I mean, I'm not really shooting for YouTube fame. I make all these videos. I've done like over 700 now. Just to get over what I'm dealing with. And it's crazy. If I'd have done one a day, I'd have had like not even 365, but that's how much stuff is always on my mind. And I know for a fact I look like I'm melting, I'm glistening, shining, look oily, all that stuff. Get a squeegee and but don't worry, like I said, this is only sitcom time. So I'm only gonna do this for probably another 8 minutes unless they want me to keep going. But in order for me to keep going, they gotta tell me. I'm not gonna just sit up here and keep going, because I hate messing with people. I hate ruining somebody else's groove. Plus, like I continuously tell you, there's a lot of cool content out there. A lot of great people making great videos about everything you ever want to know about. And I don't do that. I just bring up weird questions, talk about obscure TV shows, talk about stuff that I was into. And mostly it's either looking for someone like-minded or somebody remember this stuff so I don't seem like I'm just going crazy. Because a lot of time I talk about this stuff, it's always off memory. I don't actually go and search out the videos to, confirm it. It's like when I did this video about BTS and I was talking about how, like, people said, they covered a P. Diddy song. And I'm like, yeah, but that song was already a cover of a song by a group called The Police. So, while y'all bothering them about supposedly appropriating, P. Diddy had taken that song, sampled it, remade it, off of a guy named Sting. So knock that off. But of course, people aren't gonna like what I gotta say about that because it doesn't fit an agenda. They make it off the controversy, and since I'm not controversial, I just talk about what I know. I'm nutty for it. And I'm open-minded. I'm always toward everything. If I don't get it, I'm gonna learn about it. That's just the way I roll. But you keep your mind open, you keep your head open, you'll find a lot of like-minded people in the darndest of places, which is why that first video I made was about my boy, the K-pop cowboy, but that wasn't his name at the time. But I'm not gonna blow up his spot. That's not how I roll. Anyways, I don't know. Maybe you guys just see this as a train wreck for your amusement, to see somebody spazzing out about his depression or something like that. I'm not going to get into specifics of it because that's not how I go. I mean, in order to spout the positivity, that's how I got to do it. But a lot of good things that happen, a lot of great stuff, a lot of great people I met, both in real life and on here. And I don't care what I'm going through. When it comes to them, I'm going to be open ears. I got to hear them out. Now, like I said, it's burning up out here, but I made the point that I was going to do this, and I said I'd at least give sitcom time, 30 minutes. Kind of weirded out that I got as many likes as I do for this, because I really don't know what people are searching for. Sometimes I think I'm just being looked at to be reminded, hey, it's okay, because at least I'm not him. And then I remind myself, I'm like, hey, that's good. Don't be me. Excuse me 1 second. Crazy to hear all the birds chirping and whatnot. Beautiful day. But as you can see, it's all cloudy out here, and that matches my mood actually. But I'm really trying to flip it. I'm trying not to go down that route. I'm not trying to have my mind in that state, because that ain't right. Because yeah, much bad, like I said before, much bad stuff that goes down, and much horrifying things we have to see. There's also a lot of wonderful stuff to see. There's also a lot of great things going on. It's constantly new ideas being created, constantly new things. But we got to remember, in order to include everybody, it's always going to be a fight. Because when you're trying to fix with everybody's sensibilities and you're trying to accommodate everybody, it's hard to get everyone to agree. I mean, look at how hard it is to get everybody to agree on what toppings to put on a pizza. There's actually debates about whether banana goes on pizza, and it probably don't, but it's also none of your business. They like it, they like it. No one is the litmus. No one is the measuring stick. No one is the representative. So it's just like weird when people come out like, well, I've never heard of them, so clearly they're not famous. Just because you heard of them doesn't mean they're not famous. There's things that exist outside of your bubble. There's things that exist outside of your world. And when you absorb yourself into just your world, then you're missing out on a whole bunch of stuff. Granted, there's a lot of stuff I never heard of, and that's as far as I go, but I'm not like, I've never heard of it. I'm not smug about it, because I spent a lot of time in isolation. And also, while we sit there and stick with the same hump, we're always messed up. And when we do that, we're not really growing and evolving. And unfortunately, I hate change, but change is necessary. Just like what they said on this show I used to watch, the most perfect world is an imperfect world, because people are constantly striving to make it better. Or at least that's ideally. I mean, there's always somebody out there to be like, oh no, that's just your utopian ideal, yada yada. I'm not even on that. Not really a philosophy, just something that works for me. What works for me ain't gonna work for you. What works for you ain't gonna work for me. There's no other way to put it. Heck, there's a lot of stuff that people like that I can't really stand, but I'm not gonna sit up there and hate on it. I sit there and listen with a smile, because it's what they're into. If it makes them happy, why am I gonna be the one to screw up with that? That's not cool. That's not how it works. And your real friends are not going to agree with you. Your real friends are going to fight you. They'll call you a dumbass on certain stuff. As long as they're not constantly contentious, though. There's a respectful way to disagree with things. And you can always agree to disagree. A lot of stuff that people are like, oh, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. And I'm like, I guess. A lot of shows I like that everyone loves. A lot of movies, a lot of everything. A lot of people that everyone tells me is beautiful, but I don't really see it because I don't believe in beauty standards. And whoever told me it was the hottest, I can tell you what the ugliest thing about him is. That's a crazy ability to have. I'm not searching for negativity. I just don't put everything on a perfect pedestal because there's no such thing as that. And the stuff that I love, there's stuff that I absolutely love that I can't stand stuff about. That is how it works. Even if it's perfect, you'll have a problem with it. Because your perception and your perspective is not there. And that's okay. Why is there a fight about these minuscule things? And I don't get it. I don't knock it either. I can't. I don't know what to say. I don't know what a person's going through. Which is why, I do say I think it's weird when a person hates something, but they spend hours upon hours making videos about why they hate it and want everybody to join them. It's like they're looking for confirmation bias. And then when they get it, they're still angry. And I'm just like, okay. I could quote House Party 3 with Bernie Mac said on there because it was like one of the greatest speeches I ever heard. But like I said, there's kids that listen to this, so I'm not going to quote that. Even though I know kids probably swear way more than I ever could, and they got way better curse words than I could ever have, I'm still not going to be that guy. Don't get it twisted. I ain't nowhere near a saint. I'm horrible. I've said and done horrible things. But at the same time, I didn't do anything I couldn't walk away from, and I didn't do nothing I couldn't make up for. And I punished myself plenty. But at the same time, that brings me up to one more point that I've always thought was weird. Just because somebody sees it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Like when people go, well, he didn't apologize. How do you know he didn't? How do you know that that person didn't make amends, didn't pay his penance, didn't seek redemption for his wrongs? How do you know that? Oh, because you didn't see it? Well, newsflash, a lot of people don't broadcast what they do. Good or bad. I know lots of charitable people that have never ever said anything about it because they're not looking for the recognition. They just did it for themselves. And people find fault in that. I can't get mad at them because, whatever, we all got our quirks. Who am I to really tell anybody what's right or wrong? I'm sitting here talking to y'all in the drizzle because even though I went for sitcom time, I actually got myself on a roll here. No. I hope this helps somebody. It's actually helping me. I mean, when I started this, I was really in a dark mood and really sad and really messed up and mad, but now I'm doing this, I feel a lot better. Sweaty as all heck, but, what is it? Can't get one thing without the other, so I gotta be sacrificed. So I sacrificed my cool temperatures to sit up here and offer some insight and, do a little bit of talking. Weird that I got a demographic, weird that there's people that listen. Appreciate it that they do. But one thing about therapy, they say you're supposed to go talk to a psychiatrist or something, and that was never my bag. I never talked to one. I just decided to come here because somebody's got to be going through it. I ain't the only one. Ain't gonna be, not by a long shot. Which is why I would thank y'all for putting up with my nonsense. And I'll get better equipment. I'll get a better camera. I'll make it more razzle-dazzle with pizzazz, jazz hands. But for the most part, I don't know. I just try to tell you not to focus on what you got going on. Don't let what you're dealing with affect you. And if it hurts you, then maybe help somebody else out. There's a good feeling from helping other people out. I catch a good feeling. I've done a lot of stuff, but I don't advertise. I don't tell nobody. Because what's the point? And a lot of this stuff might seem basic and all that, but I'm not a motivational speaker. I'm not here to tell you his ass and all that. It's just my mind frame, what I'm going through, what I'm thinking of. But either which way, I hope y'all are out there doing something that you love. I hope that you're out there being safe about it. And I hope that, everybody spreads the love, because the love is the most important thing. Funny though, because when they spread hate, they don't know that they're actually just giving care, because care is basically love. I mean, think about it. When you love somebody, you spend all day harping on them, thinking about them, wondering what they're doing. You want to see them, you want to handle them, you want to be there. When you hate somebody, you spend all day thinking about them. You want to know how they're doing. You want to know what they're up to. You want to handle them. It's the same thing, different sides of the spectrum, but at the same time, it's not. Which is probably why I deal mostly in indifference. But, unfortunately, my battery's about to go dead. So, this cell phone live is going to be over in about a couple of seconds here. I did what I could. I hope y'all enjoyed it. If you didn't, you didn't. You got something out of it, cool. That's not what I'm here for. Plus, sweating like crazy over here, and it's bugging me. So go out there and go have the best day you can, okay? I'm gonna be busy dealing and coping. I might be on the video games a little bit later, playing Kingdom Hearts, because for some reason that one's just like my medicine. But anyways, have a good one, okay?